and welcome to a scorching hot Portugal and finals day here in Torres Novas for the EFRA 1/10 Electric Touring Car Championships. We've got full coverage of all three finals coming up in HD, as well as the interviews, the news, the views and reactions. So don't forget, stay here and afterwards visit www.rcracing.tv for a fantastic competition. It's all here coming up now. And they're off into the first corner. Good start there from Volker. A little bit of power, they sneak round. Ronald has a nice clean lead. He's leading from Hagberg. Harper now looking more at Hagberg than Hagberg is at Volker. Groskamp in fourth. They seem to have gone off exactly in order. And indeed they have. They've gone up in 1 to 10 order, which just shows you how good drivers they are. Not a single incident there, a little bit of clippage at the back. But anyway, as we move through, it's Hagberg, Volker, Hagberg, Harper. A little bit of a gap now between Groskamp. Groskamp slightly holding up possibly his fellow Tamiya driver with Reinhardt. But let's look at the front, because at this point, Volker has been very quick at the start of the race the whole way through. Hagberg has been quicker at the second half. And the 1, 2, 3 are pulling out a little gap as they go around the Durango D and onto the EFRA E. Staying off that curve as into the main straight, power on, heavy braking, around the timing point, into protoform. The gap currently is 0.4 of a second between Hagberg and Volker, and 0.3 between Hagberg and Harper. Harper in the orange car, Hagberg in the green car. The white and blue car is the machine being piloted by multiple European champion, but not current European champion Ronald Volker. The current champion, there wasn't an event last year, is Mark Reinhardt, currently in fifth, and the current world champion of this is currently in fourth. But the top three have gone away, and in fact now Hagberg's starting to get much closer to Volker, and Elliott's been dropped into kind of a no man's land of third. And it's all about the first two. It's been about these two from the moment we arrived here in Portugal. They were first and second in every single qualifying round. All five. It was 4 qualifying wins to Volker, 1 qualifying win to Hagberg. But Hagberg did get the fastest time we saw, and it was set around this time of the day yesterday. So now, that famous Murray Walker statement, catching is one thing, passing is another. And it's a better lap for Volker there. So Volker puts in a better lap and just stretches it out a little bit. They were doing 14.5s in the last couple of laps, and he just put a 10th back on Hagberg there. Behind him, it's Harper, Groskamp, Reinhardt, Kotoven, Cahelo, Prumper, Kaufmann, Sudolf now is at the back. But it's about the front two as they sprint round now into the protoform point. This is where the pressure really tells, and this is where the top drivers don't crack. So it's Volker. Now, with Hagberg all over him, Hagberg has to try and find a way past, and that's going to be the issue. Because if Volker doesn't make a mistake, how can Hagberg get through? Because the only other way, oh, and Hagberg on 2 wheels there, he comes up the Thunder Power straight. Just got away with it, but he drops a 10th of a second again, and we're now 2 minutes and into a 5-minute race. So it seems like an age, but we're only 2/3, well, 1/3 of the way through, really, up through protoform. Hagberg more circumspect with the entries of Thunder Power. Hagberg is able to go quicker, but it is easier to follow than to lead. And he can certainly probably get back up on the tail of Volker. But what he can do once he's there, who knows? Volker had good drive. He seems to have more drive coming down the main straight than Hagberg. And this is copybook stuff here from Volker at the moment. Hagberg, nice run around the incline curves and Durango D. Through the second and third part, still third place for Harper, still fourth for Groskamp, but Reinhardt's dropped out of fifth, and that's been picked by Kotoven now, and the automatics is in fifth. So the Yokomo leads the X-Ray with the Team Durango in third. This gap is, just too wide there. Hagberg makes a small mistake on the Durango D, and he carries that mistake into the first part of the E, and this is a good lap for Volker. And Volker now breaking slightly away and has a lead as they come around this next 14 laps, so it takes almost exactly 2/3 distance through. That lead is now 1 second, and you can see the gap stretching. Harper still not making an impression either of them, but Volker picked up another 10th of a second. He's picking up 10th, a 10th, a 10th. It looks like Volker's going to have, barring any sort of error, he's going to have this one in the bag and take the first leg and the first third. And as Chris predicted, Granger looking like he's got it in, and suddenly he's managed to find a gap, and he's looking much happier as he goes away. Harper equally distant behind. Harper in a way slightly being picked up by Groskamp, but I don't think anything that's going to matter too much. So Volker now, the only possible problem with a minute to go is he might pick up some back marker traffic. Good lap for Hagberg, got a bit closer in that one. Picked up half a 500th of a second, but he's going to need to do something quite remarkable if he's going to get past him in 3 laps. So come round now, there will be 3 more laps to go. Hagberg really concentrating, really driving it down. He's got a little bit closer each time, but he just got the Durango G wrong again, a bit too wide. But perhaps that's what he's doing. Perhaps he's trying to carry speed, takes a lot of curb, spinning down the straight. Now, that's the time being, that white line there, that's where they'll be finishing in 2 laps' time, where we may see the first leg of the European Championship go to Ronald Volker. Hagberg is closer, but he had that kind of a poor couple of laps in the middle, and he dropped off the back of him. Whilst he can now start the pressure, he is going to need to find a perfect run in leg 2 if he's going to give himself a chance this European Championship. Because Volker, as he begins his final lap, oh no, he'll get one more. He'll just clip one more, actually. So he's got one more lap. He's going to pick up a 22, because it isn't quite a 22, because they have a short first lap. So Elliot Harper is safe in third. This is the last lap for these two now. So this is the last lap. Hagberg is as close as he's been, apart from about 4th lap in, but it's going all the way round. And Volker picks up the first round. And Hagberg is getting more aggressive in the first corner. Volker's got away clean. There's problems at the back, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get away 1, 2, 3, 4, and Volker comes in the first one, goes a bit wide. Can Hagberg make the most of it? Hagberg much closer than his first 2 curves of the lap they go through. Harper also then suddenly there's been a split behind it. There's been a problem with Groskamp as well. So 1, 2, 3, that's all it's all about. We'll tell you who's. I think Kotova's going to 4th. It's not important, obviously, because it's all about the front of the grid. As it's Volker, Hagberg and Harper go through 1, 2, 3, and Volker again starting well. Hagberg's car has just been fast, but Volker getting away already, moving a bit of gap. It is Kutova in 4th, it's Sudolf in 5th at the back, and Kahalo in 6th. Big scramble at the back of the race, which we didn't see, but we'll see on the cameras on the TV show. Anyway, so Volker and the Yokomo is leading the X-Ray of Hagberg, with the Durango, the new prototype Durango of Harper in 3rd. And if anything, there's much more action happening between Harper and Hagberg than there is between Volker, who's comfortably ahead now by 0.8 of a second. And Hagberg is getting pressure from Harper, which is good for Harper, but for Hagberg, it means he can't concentrate quite so much on what he's trying to do with Volker. Volker is away with a comfortable 4-metre lead, and in this sort of competition, this sort of standard, that's a comfortable lead. Me, I need about 3.5 straights to have a chance of winning a race. But here, I'm a couple of metres ahead, I'm fine. So that last lap, it was slightly quicker. 100th of a second faster was Hagberg than Volker. And we are 1 minute and 25 seconds down of a 5-minute race. Harper himself was actually 7,000 seconds faster than Hagberg. These guys are absolutely on it and absolutely running at the same speed. But they went off with this much of a gap at the start, and they've still got it now. Sudolf has picked up 4th for some great drive. But 1, 2, 3 over the EFRA, down the back straight. Full power, heavy braking, turning over the timing loop through the snake bite, and up now for the right-hand turn into Protoform Point. Now on the Thunder Power straight. Hagberg a little bit closer this time. Harper a little bit further back, and Hagberg now has hit that turbocharged period where his tyres come in and can start to begin to put pressure on Volker. Can he get a mistake out of the German? Can the Swede take this to a 3rd leg? We are 2 minutes down, and the gap between them is down to just 0.4 of a second. Harper being slightly dropped as Hagberg's car comes in, and we're looking now 1st and 2nd, straight down again. This gap, it looks bigger as obviously as they go faster. As you see that in Formula 1 as they power away at corners. But we come the parasol now. There really goes. Great break and turn there from Hagberg. But Volker seems to have it all controlled. But Volker really is literally half a mistake from losing his position. He looks better as he puts his power on down the straight and over the timing loop again. And we are now 2.5 minutes down. So we're halfway through this race, halfway to go. Hagberg right over there. Great corner through the parasol. Comes in the Durango D, and just getting enough curb. They're all beginning to steal as much as they can from the EFRA to make eke those seconds out. And it does look like a slightly better lap there for Volker, and I think he's put, and missing the Protoform corner, slightly Hagberg there. And that's cost him some time. Indeed, he lost 800 of a second in the last lap. And you can see it really, it looks like the control car here is Harper. He's going the same sort of speed. You can judge the gap between Hagberg and Volker just by how close he is to the Swede. Volker getting close to a European champion. He is now within 2 minutes of becoming European champion, but he's also in 2 minutes of a disaster. Hagberg just needs to put 3 good laps together and put some pressure on him. That was a good run through the Protoform Point, and he is now as close to speed as he gets on the inside. Can he with the Durango? This is... Now he's on the tail. Now it's supposed to know that this is far closer he's been now, and they come around the timing point, up the inside, looking perhaps the inside line through Protoform Point. No, coming through now, straight up the Thunder Power straight. Oh, comes to the inside there. But if Volker keeps his lines, I think the Yokomo, the German, can take this. Hagberg looking around, looking left, looking right, looking for a lead, looking for a chance to come through. We're down to 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. I don't need to tell you the gap, because you can see the gap, it's nothing. Hagberg taking curve. Oh, he can't really get the inside there. And looking at the bottom there, the corner, through protoform. Now it just looks a bit there, but taking a wide line through the parasol. Already running really accurate blocking lines. Volker, this is a demonstration of superb leading and marvellous following. Hagberg, though, knows he's got about a minute or 4. He's looking at inside the protoform. He's got four laps to do it. Can he get past in 4 laps? Volker closing him down. Hagberg, bit of curb, lost the time to it. Bit of curb on the second part of the EFRA and a bit more. Didn't get the right for a second, but he's right back on the tail again. Can Volker? Oh, to the inside. He was actually probably slightly ahead for a microsecond there through parasol. Applause for a pass out the back, but who cares about this? It's about the European Championship at the front. Over the timing line, and we are now entering what should be the final lap. It's the last lap. Hagberg looks inside. It's the last lap. Can he do anything about Volker now? He goes up. Can he get a scale move? No! Volker has got to do the straight. He's got to turn the corner. He's got to go across the toe beam, and he gets it! Volker, European champion, subject to scrutineering, but Ronald takes the win with 5 minutes of exemplary driving. Hagberg second, Harper third. Ronald, that was 5 minutes of brilliant driving from you, brilliant driving from Alexander. Tell me what's going through your head lap after lap after lap as he's that close to you?
I just tried not to make a mistake, not to give him too much space, and he puts a lot of pressure after 2 or 3 minutes, and I'm really happy that it's now over.
Well, congratulations, you are the European champion. Is this the first outdoor you've won? Is it 2007 you last won?
2007 and 2010.
But, see, 3 times outdoors, twice indoors, 5 European champions. Ronald, congratulations, thank you very much, well done. And they're off. Harper looking quite racy in the first corner, but a good start from Hagberg. And now Harper has more issues from Groskamp in second than he has going forward. So Groskamp in third, sorry. Reinhard as well. It's a 3-4-5. Kutoven, who had a good chance of a good result, made a bit of a spinny start, which isn't good. He's gone off on his side. Hagberg streaks away in the lead. Behind him, Harper, who's going to need to catch up very quickly. And then he got the battle for third and fourth between the 2 Tamiya drivers, Groskamp and Reinhard. Behind them, it's the 8 machine of Yannick Prumper with the Yakobo. And then Cahalo and the rest of the field. Hagberg is literally leaping off. Now, the interesting thing is, can Groskamp have some sort of reaction, some sort of way of coming back at Harper? He's fending off Reinhard as well. But it is looking at the moment like Hagberg, really, without Volker in front of him, it looks even quicker than he did when Volker was in front of him. Harper now, beginning to eke out a bit of a gap. Let's go down to the concentrate on third and fourth, which is the battle between Groskamp and Reinhard, as Harper makes a minor mistake there. So Groskamp and Reinhard very, very close to the protoform point, and they're coming up now, powering up through the parasol and round the Durango D. That's your battle. The third and fourth battle goes up in first and second. It's still Hagberg and Harper, and they're equidistant apart, but Groskamp getting a bit closer. Can he make a move on Harper? But no, he's holding off, he's fending off triple world champion. You've got world champions 4 of the last 5 times in those 2 cars, the 2 Tamiyas, the Groskamp, the Reinhard. They come down the straight, turning sharp and looking for a way through. I think that we need to see what's going on, but it's a very, very close battle here between the 2 Tamiya boys. At the front, Hagberg is just proving that he is the second class of the field. Without Volker, he's probably just released and going. Harper in third also has a bit of space. Some accidents behind. Cahella having some problems, but it's third and fourth is where it's at. And it's Groskamp from Reinhard. The Dutchman, the current world champion, ahead of the German who won the 2 previous world championships and then won 2 before that. So the 04, 08 and 10 champion just behind the 12 champion. Hagberg still leading, Harper still second, and these 2 guys battling for third and fourth. They all seem very, very evenly matched. Hagberg leading by about 1.8 to 2 seconds and looking quite relaxed and quite confident with the whole thing. As our Tamiya twins are staying in position. Well, that was where the Reinhard's really in the mood for he was quite down even yesterday about his qualifying position. So it'd be interesting to see whether he wants to make a big move to get into the lead. He switches in through the switchback and accelerates away. Left, then right. Nips around the protoform point. Going through Parasol, Groskamp perhaps eking out a bit of a lead and perhaps getting a little bit closer to Elliot Harper with 3 minutes and 10 seconds down. So Hagberg less than 2 minutes from victory, which will give him second place overall. Harper less than 2 minutes from second, which will give him third place overall and a podium spot in the Euros. But Reinhard now a little bit closer to Groskamp as they run through, but not that much closer. Can the German take Groskamp and pick up third? And probably I think they might give him third. It might give him fourth overall. It's a minor place. Yeah, neither of those people came here for fourth and fifth overall. They were all looking trying to win the European Championship. But that dream has been shattered by the fantastic performances of Ronald Volker and the rather efficient performance of Hagberg and Harper as well. It's very. I've not seen an event where we've seen two cars and the third car consistently better than everyone else. There's very little mix-up. Obviously one person dominating, but never kind of a trio dominating like this. And you're kind of wondering, whereas Harper makes a minor mistake and gets a bit closer there to Groskamp, and that's costing quite a bit. And now Harper's looking a bit wobbly, and it's Groskamp now has a chance. I'm sure Groskamp's much more prepared to be aggressive with Harper than he would be than Reinhard is with his teammate. So go through the EFRA, and we are down to about 2 more laps after this one. And brakes hard, and Groskamp gets on the inside. Can he switch back into Pro 4 point? No. He's now got the Thunder Power straight, and he tips him, and he gets him back, and he's going to have to let him go through. And the loser out of all that, unfortunately, as Groskamp gets turned round by 9 of Sudolf. It's all gone wrong for Groskamp there. He turned round Harper, he waited. Let's pick up Hagberg for his last lap. He's going round the Parasol now. But what happened there was Groskamp hit Harper, he waited. In doing that, unfortunately, Reinhard got involved in an accident, and then it was the 8 of Prumper who got involved as well, and that ended up knocking back the Tamiya drive. But at the end of the day, the winner is Alexander Hagberg, second is Elliot Harper. They will be second and third overall. Great finals, but not the victory.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very pleased with second place, but I know that the car had so much more potential, and it's a bit of a shame to miss out on the win, but still I'm very pleased with second place.
It seems the developments that X-Ray have done have made this car really, really competitive outdoors, which has been a problem in the past, hasn't it?
I mean, we've found a lot more steering than we have had in the past, which was what we struggled with, but now the car turns really well, and yeah, we worked really hard to find a good setup, and here it paid off. So congratulations to Ronald, a fantastic victory there. So don't forget that we are back in just 10 days' time from the Story in Austria for the touring car IC version, and we'll have a special treat for you. John Hindhaugh will be behind the mic for all 4 days of the live streaming. That'll be available on EFRA WS and www.rcracing.tv. Finally, just thank you to Protoform, thank you to Thunder Power, and thank you to Durango and the DETC 410. Don't forget, Austria is 10 days away.